With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and off we go from Seattle. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And some room to maneuver. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Big article in the paper this morning talking about how they wanted to get chunk plays in the run game. Well, early on, there's a good one.
There is, and for guys on defense, they've got to remember the old adage. You've got to meet force with force, and if you don't, you get run over, as they did on that last play.
On 1st down, back to Achane. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that will bring up 2nd down. You talk about... Seahawks defense. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
The Texans send the punter out. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. They'll set up a throw. Flushed out right. That is caught. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he...
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Gibbs straight ahead. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. That run good for 6 yards, but they're still looking up at a 3rd and 15.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now Achane on 1st and 10. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. You talk about this Seahawk defense. And right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It's a gain of 35.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. First carry for Josh Jacobs.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Touchdown! Nico Collins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Let's go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That is incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Here we go. Here we go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The first catch for Judy, good for a first down.
I tell you what, 3rd and 10, you look over, and you get the punt team getting loose on the sideline. So that puts added importance on this play. You certainly don't want to see them on the field. And after a couple of incompletions, 3rd time's the charm as they get the hook up here and pick up the first down.
Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Out quickly here to Smith and Jigba. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Here we go. Set.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. The Seahawks at 4-11 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to get the football here at their own 23. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Here's Achane to start the drive. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Well, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
Brandon, you know, we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan. That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
They'll look to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Here's a toss left for Achane. Down at the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's a 2nd and 7. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point of attack.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Devon Achane, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
A give, running right, Achane. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. They're going to look to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Cameron Curl. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 7. Another run for Gibbs here. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up third and about 6. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Smith and Jigba with a grab. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Slot man moves right. And they'll start out here with a jet sweep. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there. And they'll go backwards right away. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back at their own 17. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. 2 yards is the pickup, and it'll give the Seahawks a first down. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Seahawks.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. A two-touchdown game, 14-0 the score as we get rolling again here in this second half. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 27 yards there, a first down.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Finds Gibbs on the check down. And he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it as he gets wiped out on that one.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He finds his man complete. It's Webb. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a third down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. They go play action here on first down. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That's good for 28 yards.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
They'll look to throw again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. A 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Seahawks have cut it back within a score. Extra point attempt to come here. And that one makes it 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
2nd and 9 now. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends are creating so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Room to maneuver at the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. This short throw caught by Goddard. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 53 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Achane here, they stay on the ground. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Second and 5. Back to throw. And he's got it. And the Texans are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. One more time with Achane. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
And now third and goal coming up, the loss on second down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
And now can they reverse the trend on third and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Now back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Seahawks able to come up with a goal line stand. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And now their defense came through with a goal line stand, got them the ball back. See what they can do about putting a drive together. Wrong way to go.
They need to reward that defense. A goal line stand, they've got to make that stand up themselves, right? Give the defense a chance to catch their breath on the sidelines. At least get 2 first downs. 3 would be better. Change field position. Let them catch their breath.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs.
And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9.
He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one. It might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a 2nd and 6.
They'll set up a throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, the one he was after there.
But now it'll be 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They're going option play on 3rd down. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
And that'll go for a gain of 18 on the keeper. 1st down. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but wasn't enough to get them the completion.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And all the way in, touchdown to Seattle.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
49 yards.
And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
The Texans send the punter out, standing just outside his own goal line. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
He's got it to Williams. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. He'll return it from the 6.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the Texans will take over.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
82 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. And by the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And this is going to be intercepted. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
This is 1st and 10. Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
From the gun, Gibbs will get it.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
They'll go again with Gibbs.
Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker...
And he will score! Touchdown, Seattle!
Jahmyr Gibbs,
14 yards.
And the Seahawks have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Final minute. No timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10. He's got it to Collins, complete.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
He's back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
We're now 2nd and 10 from the 13.
Back to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
65-6.
He'll look to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it, go for two.
Well, going for it on the road, want to win it right now.
Well, win it right now, have the momentum, go ahead and get it done.
And now they're going to go for two and a possible win as this crowd rises to make things difficult. They'll try and throw for it. And it is caught. They got the 2 points, and with it, they've taken the lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for the Texans,
they avoid that 10th loss and move to 7-9 on the year.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at EA Sports.